Russian soldiers are not only killing Ukrainians with weapons, they are also intentionally causing industrial disasters. Ukrainian oil depots, strategic industrial facilities and chemical sites are on fire. 2 nuclear power plants have been occupied by invaders. It is only now that Ukraine's nuclear operator, Energoatom, has confirmed that the Russian forces are finally going to leave the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. While the situation is under control, environmentalists say that we will feel the consequences of this war for years.
While the world fears the Kremlin's nuclear and chemical attacks, Russian troops have resorted to environmental terrorism in Ukraine since the beginning of the full-scale war. They intentionally send missiles to oil depots, bomb industrial facilities and toxic waste warehouses, as well as Ukrainian thermal power plants and gas pipelines. More than 100 industrial disasters occurred in a month in almost every Ukrainian region.
When the BRSM oil depot burned down near Vasilkiv in 2015, it was the second or third largest environmental disaster in Ukraine. I have now counted 20 fires at oil depots. Even the burning fuel in each tank causes 10 times more damage than one oil depot.
Ammonia leaked out into the surrounding countryside due to an enemy missile strike in the Sumy region. An entire village was hit when Russian soldiers fired at a nuclear research facility at the Kharkiv Institute. As the world fears Putin will press the red button, the nuclear threat has been looming for a long time. The Chernobyl zone has been occupied for a month. Russian soldiers actually settled in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, captured and fired on Europe's largest nuclear power plant, Zaporizhzhia, and detonated shells near power units. They even intentionally caused fires in Chernobyl, when the winds were blowing dangerously in the direction of Kyiv.
The last data we received from the radiation posts was on February the 25th, 26th, before the control was lost. In fact, we recorded the background of radiation pollution somewhere around 8 times. The reason was the movement of enemy equipment on contaminated soil, lifting contaminated radiation dust into the air.
The radiation indicators are not critical for Kyiv and Ukraine at this time, but many of our citizens remain in the zone. There are rescuers and station workers, and who knows what else the occupiers are capable of.
We must understand that this is an enemy that can be equated with terrorists who are trying to cause critical consequences for the environment and public health of Ukraine, so we must be prepared for anything.
According to environmentalists, 44% of Ukraine's protected areas are currently in a war zone. Shells contaminate the soil, while unexploded ordnance and destroyed enemy equipment are carcinogenic material that will have to be disposed of.
The State Ecological Inspection has estimated the damage from contaminated soils in the first weeks at $77 million. Only a month has passed, and what will happen next is unknown.
Thousands of hectares of mined areas must also be taken into account. A critical situation is developing in the Black Sea due to the hostilities. Currently, the Ukrainian Ministry of Ecology fixes all environmental crimes. Russia must pay for everything as the aggressor country. And Europe, which is also threatened by a nuclear threat, must stop buying fossil fuels from terrorist states and sponsoring a Russian military vehicle. Natalia Kulik, Facty Programme, ICTV, United News.